gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Cause baby, I feel real good and I wish y'all would. Watch out now. It's gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Everybody watch out. Watch out now. I'm ready for a good time, and I came to groove. The whole band's here, and we came to move. Got a fresh haircut and 2 new shoes. We're here all night like we got nothing to lose. I'm coming out the jacket, cause we're turning up the heat. I wanna see you clapping when you get up out your seat. It's time to make it happen when we hit these streets. I'm coming in hot, and I can't be beat. Watch out now.
Can't hear you yet.
Look, this is what happens when you live.
There you go. Live.
Welcome.
It's so live. We're live.
Yes.
Boom.
Everybody, welcome to Chuck Levin's Live. This is our first
Chuck Levin's Live.
episode.
Episode 1. Welcome. Welcome to our homes.
As you can see, we have we are in our bedrooms, but you see the store. You know, we're virtually in the store right now. We miss, man, it's been how many days?
It's been 1 month today. 1 month since we've been back in that place.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In our home, our second home.
Shout out to everybody that's been commenting on our posts. Shout out to everybody that's been emailing us, concern and showing their appreciation for the store. We really, 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 really appreciate all the love that you guys have been giving us in this time of being closed. So yeah, man, Adam, I think we should just go ahead and introduce ourselves really quick so people know who we are. I'm Eric Villatoro, as you can see on the screen. I'm the chief content creator for Chuck Levin. So all the content that you see in Chuck Levin's, that's usually coming from me and the awesome people at Chuck's. Adam, introduce yourself, man. I'm
Adam Levin. I am the third generation of family members in Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center. Chuck was my grandfather, Chuck and Marge. And yeah, I'm, I handle a lot of the operations at the store, but basically I'm just here to carry this story forward. That's kind of my role, my vision. Yeah, man. It's been crazy with the times that we're living on right now, where we have to really live in the interwebs, right? And before you became the head of Chuck Levin's, once you came in, right? And really started to take over, you were the one that started to implement a lot of like the new things when it came to being like social media. So it's cool to see like some of the work that you've been putting in now. It's really coming alive now where we have to like be on it. But I would love to know, because, obviously the entire music industry has been affected crazy. Give an update to the people about, what's happening with Chuck Levin's. Where are we at right now? So yeah, I mean, we've been shut down since the 23rd of March. Yeah. Maryland State order, had to do it. It was the right move too. First and foremost, most happy that our 100+ person family can be home, can be safe, can quarantine, can stay at home, and can follow these regulations. I mean, this is a crazy time, and really just unprecedented. Yeah. It was pretty crazy when the shutdown really started. We were kind of scrambling and the dust was still settling. But in the last few weeks, we have resumed doing some shipping. So we have a small team of people in the store, and we are shipping out orders. Pretty much anything that we can get out the door, we will. We're not doing curbside pickup or anything like that, but we do have a team of people. They're socially distancing, gloves, masks, all the good stuff, staying safe. But we are able to make some things happen, which is really, really amazing. And people want to make music right now. I'll say it's been really inspiring, and it's been really heartwarming to hear from people that not only want to make music, but they care about us. They care about the extended family of Chuck Levin's. That how are the people in the company, how the cashiers, how the sales guys, how the stock guys. People are asking these questions. Yeah. It just shows me that this is more than just a store, more than just a business. I mean, this is community, this is emotion, this is family. So it's been a wild ride. It's been scary. It's been crazy. But we're making the best of it. The sales guys are all working from home. They can answer questions. They can help you out if you got questions about gear that you got or gear that you're thinking about or whatever. There's just a ton of, we're trying to make the best of it from being from home and being safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anybody watching has any questions or, questions about gear, sales at Chuck Levin's, that's usually.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah. We're still operating. It's limited, but we're still definitely going. Man, this has been crazy times, man. The fact that we're now live streaming.
For
the first time ever, bro. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited to do this though, because for a long time, when you brought me in about a year and a half ago to do social media work, the first time ever bringing somebody in, I came into Chuck Levin's, and obviously I already knew about the store, and being in the store, I think a lot of people can relate to the fact that, man, when you walk into Chuck Levin's, it just feels different. It's a very special place, and it sucks that we can't fully be operating, but I think once we're back, I think people are going to even appreciate it even more.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about the rollback. I mean, it's a crazy time that we're in right now. I mean, it's they're talking about limiting the amount of people that you can have in a certain place, or how can you get things done?
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. We're still kind of working it out. Can you try mouthpieces? Can you some of these weird things that are like very specific to our world? We're going to have to figure out and understand more about what's going on before we can really roll this out. How many people can we have in a building? We have 100 people that work at the store. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be, we're not going to be able to send all 100 people back in straight away, but we're taking this day by day. We're doing what's safe for everybody. But yeah, I mean, what better time to go live than right now? What better time to like explore this thing and do this stuff? I mean, yeah, like you were saying, like before, we never thought we would have a Chuck Levin's live stream. It's been a minute. We've talked about it, maybe podcast, maybe this and that. Now's it. Now's the time.
Here we are. Yeah.
Here we are.
It's been really interesting to just even see the entire industry react to these times. What have you seen out there? How is the industry doing right now? What are some cool things that you're seeing out there that people are doing that is just catching your eye? Is there anything out there?
A ton. Daily, I'm inspired by the music community in a lot of ways. The music industry, the music community is one of the hardest hit in this whole thing. Gig workers in places that we can't collect anymore to watch a musician perform. We can't get into venues. We can't do festivals. You can barely get a band together.
Yeah.
Go-go bands, 20-piece bands. I mean, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, I feel and we're feeling it too for all these people that are really on hard times right now. But there's these glimmers of hope. There's these glimmers of real community and real passion that I keep seeing every day. More in DC, there's a bunch of organizations that are doing really amazing work for the musicians of the city and the DMV in general. Yeah. Capital Bops, DC Legendary Musicians, musicianship. I mean, at a time when it's very easy to think about yourself and what are you going to do? How are you going to be okay? These organizations are taking their time and thinking about how are others going to be okay? How are they going to take care of themselves? I mean, there's not much better than that. I mean, it's really a phenomenal thing. And if you know anyone in those organizations and you can help in any way, I think it would be a really phenomenal thing to be able to help those people if you're in a position to do so. If not, if you're a musician, reach out to them, see what resources they have out there because they're working for you guys. And I know it's crazy and I know this stuff changes daily, but there are people out there looking out for it, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's also been really cool to see how some of our manufacturing partners have pivoted and shifted, not necessarily for a business reason, but to help because they were able to. We got some really amazing partners, and I wanted to share a couple of them on my screen.
Let's check it out.
So one of them, one of our good friends, Gator Cases, about a week and a half ago, so cool. They released these masks. In the new world, the new reality. We could be having to wear face masks out in public for a good long time. And they very quickly took their Levy's manufacturing, where they make bags and straps, and kind of turned that technology into making masks. Amazing, really resourceful, really smart, and they're not making any money on it. It goes to cover the cost of making the masks, and any profits they're making are going to support the frontline workers. Special shout out, frontline workers, medical professionals, nurses, people working in grocery stores, people working in CVS and whatever. Thank you. I mean, like, we all need everything that you guys are doing, and you guys are putting yourselves in harm's way, and we all really appreciate it. So it means a lot.
Yeah, man.
We got some other.
Hold up, man. We just give another. Yeah, I personally got to give another shout out to people that are really in the front lines, man. Because even as I've experienced some family members be sick, going into these places to get medicine and to get the proper food and just to try to stay up, man. To see people working in these times is pretty crazy. So, man, again, shout out to anybody out that's putting their life on the line right now to serve us. It really goes a long way. Just
it does.
Yeah.
Ernie Ball, another great partner of ours, longtime partner. The internet was working, you'd see it, but they also they turned their production line into making masks too. Again, just kind of rising to the challenge. Yeah. And last, both Aquarian and D'Addario, I think this is like one of the slickest. This is slick. Taking their drumhead manufacturing and turning it into protective face shields for medical professionals. I mean, it's right in front of them, and they took the opportunity. They shifted from making drumheads to making masks, and it's not a money making scheme. It's to support this crisis. They are just rising to the challenge, and amazing to see just the music community being one of the hardest hit, still finding ways to contribute to help the community in the situation is amazing. Really, really amazing.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm still like, the fact that they could just that's fire. That's fire. We do have a question from a customer that we want to answer. It says, is the guitar repair shop open?
So the guitar repair shop is not open right now. We cannot take any new repairs. When it becomes safe to do so, we will resume operations slowly. The best way to keep in touch with what's going on at the store is going to be to check our website. We're going to try and keep that as up to date as possible. Yeah. And it could change daily. So I would encourage you to check back often. I don't know if you guys have been watching a lot of these news briefs and stuff like that, but the details change daily. I don't expect it to happen for a couple weeks. Yeah. But we sure will be back. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, and for everybody that's tuning in, that's new, we are doing limited shipping right now. Can you just run through that really quick for the people that just came in?
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, we got a store full of stuff. And it's a little here and there around the country about, where we can get things from and stuff like that. We're not receiving new orders into the store, but anything we got in the store, we can get it out. We can work with a bunch of our partners to ship things to you directly. Right now in the store, we have a team of maybe 5 or 6 people, so they can stay socially distant, so they can stay safe. They can, maintain cleanliness and all that sort of stuff and personal hygiene. But we're able to pick, pack, and pull orders. We're a little slow. We're maybe shipping once or twice a week right now because there's a lot, but it's happening. We're making stuff move. So it's great.
Awesome, man. I wanted to kind of go ahead and really talk about what's been going on in the artistic world, right? I mean, obviously, these are hard times, but artists, like always, we adapt and we keep the music going.
Yeah, man.
And obviously, we know that that's one of the things that will always bring happiness and joy into our lives. And so, man, we've been seeing a lot of, I think we can agree that we've been seeing, the main notification that we've been seeing on our phone right now is so-and-so is going live.
Yep.
That's like the main
Instagram,
thing.
Facebook, all day.
Everybody's going live. It's been really, really cool to see. And actually, our guest that's going to be on today, he's one of the best doing it. And we're so excited to have him on. We'll bring him on soon. But Adam, what is some of the things that you've been seeing in the live world right now, in the industry?
There's been a couple that have I think kind of really popped off a lot of this stuff. A couple famous people live streams, maybe some people that were famous, not so famous, whatever. Chris Martin from Coldplay did one just on his phone, literally just phone up next to his piano, did it, blew up. And it kind of opened up this world of hey, super famous people are just going to turn their phone around and go live from their room and play some music. And super it kind of just yeah, it's intimate, and it just kind of changes script a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be so formal. It doesn't have to be so polished. It's cool being raw. It's cool being invited into your favorite artist's home to experience music the way they do. Really, really cool. Yeah. DJ D Nice was another one that has just like blown up. He started really early on after the shutdowns happening, DJing live sets from his apartment, and they've been blowing up. And then, you know, so there's been a bunch of that going on over the last couple of weeks. Local artists, I'm seeing a lot of local musicians in DC doing it. And then, you know, this last weekend was probably like the culmination of it so far was the One World Together at Home festival.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was
it was really inspiring too. I mean, it was cool. It was cool that it involved every single like media outlet, ABC, NBC, CBS, and like a ton of other TV channels, in addition to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, it was live streamed everywhere, and it had 20 million people, I think, watch it on TV. And I don't know that they have the numbers for the streams, but I imagine it was millions and millions more. And it was the same thing as that Chris Martin or that D Nice stream. It was being invited into like the most famous people's homes to experience music, and to see Elton John on an iPhone video in his backyard with like some basketballs behind him and stuff, like, you're not going to get that at a concert, you know? So while we're in weird times and new experiences, it's also an opportunity to connect on a different level and share and you know, interact with an audience in a completely different way. So while it's dark times, it's inspiring times, and it's time to get creative and time to get outside the box and try to use some of these new tools that we might have not quite mastered. You know, streaming is something that's been around for, I mean, it's basically the same as radio, right? I mean, it's the same kind of thing that's been going on. So this isn't new by any means, but using it this way at this scale for this many people is new. And we all have to kind of understand what the potential for it is, what the opportunities are, like what we can do with it, you know? Yeah. You've been doing it a lot. You were telling me that you've been doing it with your church, and that it's been a massive way to reach an audience. I mean, tell me about what you've been doing there.
Yeah, I mean, man, I think this time right now has basically opened the door for a whole new way of communication that has always been there, like we've said, but is just now we have no other choice but to explore it. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of work with the church, and churches all around the world have obviously reached a lot more people because of the live stream. Me personally, from home, I had my little H4 Zoom. Been doing a lot of podcasting right now. So I'm basically just lining up some episodes to then release. But it's been using what we have and things that are portable to just really get as much content as possible. And even right now, even with this, like, this is a whole new thing for me to really be on live stream and have this whole setup. And on that note too, Jason Price, we did see your question about what we are using to live stream this. Please stick around. We are going to talk about all of these things, about the tools that you can use. We're going to talk about tips and different things that you can use, but we will be revealing that soon because we want you guys to also do it. But before anything, man, like we briefly talked about, one of the artists from our city, our guest today, who's not only an incredible artist but has been killing it in the live stream world right now. We're gonna bring him in, but Adam, do you want to go ahead and introduce him and then introduce just the clip that we're gonna see from him, just so people can get acquaintance?
For sure. Yeah. Fred Yane is one of the most inventive and amazing humans that I know on the planet. He has played alongside Stevie Wonder, Prince, Ed Sheeran, Erykah Badu, and literally everyone in between, and lit the stages on fire. If you ever seen or gotten a chance to see some videos or be at one of the Dave Chappelle juke joints, amazing events, Fred is the man behind the music. If you watch the Netflix saga, The Irishman, you absolutely heard Fred's harmonica gracing the silver screen. Yeah. And when he's around town and whenever he's gigging, he generally is bringing together some of the most soulful musicians in the entire city to form the band with no name.
Yeah.
And we're super pumped to bring him in. He's been going live on Sundays and his eavesdrop sessions. It's been amazing to watch, and we're going to check out a couple clips from that in a minute. But first, just to give you guys a taste of what Fred is about, we're going to watch one of his performances on NPR Tiny Desk real quick.
So without further ado, everybody, this one is amazing. Yo,
bring him in.
Without further ado, man, welcome Fred Yane.
Yo, Fred.
Can't
hear you yet, Fred.
Wait.
Unmute him.
No,
live stream tactics.
No. His mic is good.
Oh, maybe just mine, because he's still upside down for me. So.
Maybe take the headphone off. Take the earpiece off, maybe. Oh, now we can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Yep.
And now.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, all right, let's go.
What up, Fred? How you doing?
I'm good. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Good to be seen.
Oh my
God. There you go.
Adam,
am I upside down still?
You are, but I'm ready to rock with it. You know, we're live. Whatever, man. Let's do this thing. Let's do it.
We've known each other so long. You're used to this.
I'm used to it. Yeah, man. You're always crazy. You're always pulling something out of your sleeve. I figured you'd just be upside down in my stream, whatever it is.
I love this.
Well, Fred, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for being here in the first ever Chuck Levin's Live. Couldn't think of anyone that I'd rather have on this stream for episode 1. You are the king of live streaming right now, as far as I'm concerned. You're killing the game. But before we get into some of what you've been doing with live, just catch us up. Like what's been going on? How's this whole crisis been affecting you? Where your head's at? What's going on in Fred's world?
Well, we were getting ready to go around the country and do some performances around the U.S. when this confinement situation happened. So we basically were loaded with a fireball of energy with the band, and we were starting to lose it. I know I was starting to lose my mind, spinning around in the house. So I decided to. We had just purchased this house that we totally got it, and I had just decided to move all my equipment inside. And matter of fact, let me just show you around if I can.
Yeah, show us what's up.
There you go. So what you have here is everybody is confined behind plastic sheets.
I love it, and I love the new addition of the see-through portion of the sheet. I know that's a phase 2 development in your streams, and I love it.
You're an avid follower of this.
Every Sunday I tune in. Have to. Makes my week.
This is where the guitar player is seated here, and you can see there's some caution tape right here because Rob is on fire. He's got his own window right here.
That's good.
And this is the production station over there. The keyboard is right here.
This is crazy.
So how many guys do you have on the stream when you guys are doing these sessions?
So we're definitely making sure to stay within the confinement rules. So no more than 9 people are allowed on the floor at the same time.
That's great.
And we are 5 musicians. We just added a sound engineer help this week, and we have one or two camera people. So we're about 8 or 9 people. On
awesome.
The
well,
Eric, why don't we show the audience a quick clip of the eavesdrop session so they can get a taste for what's going on Sundays.
Oh, great!
Let's do it. Let's show them. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I just love every time, man. It's so good. So Fred, go ahead, Eric.
Sorry. It's wild because before I even knew that you were gonna be the guest, I had seen that clip because Adam has shared it on Facebook, and I was wondering. I was like, what is going? This man went into a whole abandoned house and got like a whole band together. And I was really impressed because everybody's doing live streams from their bedroom, from their comfort of wherever they can.
Right.
But the fact that you're able to really bring the band together, keep everybody safe, have like a cool look, because I mean that is a home that you just purchased. Is just you're like completing it, and you're just using it to the best of your advantage. Like that's amazing, bro. Like.
Necessity is mother of creation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Well, Fred, I want to jump into some of the, your setup, right? I mean, I think we probably have a bunch of musicians watching, people that are interested in streaming, thinking about it. I know you got a pretty crazy rig over there, but where did you start? The first eavesdrop session, like what was your setup like on the first one? And how did it evolve from there? Like what was your first experience with the stream?
My first stop was Chuck Levin's, and I'm not even joking. That was.
Let's go.
You ask. I'm just being honest. That was the first.
He's not a paid. He is not a paid supporter.
Not paid advertisement.
That was the first call I placed. I was in need of gear, and somehow I had no idea how Chuck Levin's was able to get me all the stuff I needed within the window. It was amazing. It's almost like nothing happened to you all.
Trying to keep it that way. But so your first stream, was it just on Instagram?
So no, you're right. The first stream we had one stream on live on Instagram, which we're actually doing now, as a matter of fact, so people can also hear this conversation. And then we were trying to simultaneously broadcast both on actually all the other platforms. We're trying to do Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope at the same time. And I found that it's technically not really challenging to do, but the result on the audio side was not really satisfying. So we tried. I got a little stubborn. I tried again the following week, and finally I just decided to go another route. So right now I'm feeding two mixes, one on IG Live and one on Facebook Live, until I can figure out something else, to be on more platforms at the same time. I'm going to stick to that method because it seems to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the only. I actually learned it just from your experience and talking to you that Instagram Live is kind of like a lockdown sort of live stream setup that it's hard. You can't really multi-stream to Instagram Live. You kind of have to hit that differently. And then all the other streams, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Periscope, the Twitter, they can generally be streamed using the same feed. But that Instagram one, you got to come up with a way to make it happen. And you guys definitely have. I mean, I even helped you get the gear to figure out the Facebook one. And I was watching the Instagram one because that's just where I watch you. So, it's good. It's awesome that you have it all those places, and it sounds great and it looks great. And it's been kicking ass.
So thank you. It sounds like Facebook is working on feeding the same feed from Instagram Live onto their platform in the near future. So that would be great. That would be a time saver.
That would be huge.
At least.
All of us. Yeah, because we love Instagram too, but this ain't on Instagram right now. So except for you, which we appreciate. So like, I know that you're running all this gear through a console. And then you're running different monitor mixes for the different streams. Is that kind of how you're running it?
So now let me put my my sound engineer hat on. Basically, I have an old Yamaha digital board, and I put all the mixes, all the inputs are coming through the board, and then I feed two mixes, two Omni outs out of these board one into Facebook and the other one into Instagram.
Awesome.
This is a vintage digital O2R.
Hey man,
which I was actually trying to get rid of. I don't know if you remember that, Adam.
Yeah.
I bothered you with that board several times. And
you tried, and look now. You need it.
Well, look at us.
And it sounds great, and it works, and it's getting it done. You know, there's a lot of ways to play this, but I'm a huge fan of using what you have at your fingertips. Whatever you got around that can make this stuff work, and you killed it. It's coming across. It's coming across great.
Yeah.
So what, you know, for a lot of people that are, you know, out there streaming, like what's been the biggest obstacle? What's been the hardest part about this stream, about getting it done? You know, and what are you working on now, you know?
The biggest challenge for me was to stay true to the integrity of the sound of the band and make sure the mix would deliver the dynamics, the musical dynamics and the warmth that you experience when you're at a live show.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 80% in on Instagram. The sound is really warm. It feels, you know, I'm sensing the dynamics. I still have a little tweaking and adjusting to do on Facebook, but I think I'm going to get it right this week.
Well, it's coming through, and you know, the other part I think that really is special about the streams, not just the sound quality, but you've created that ambiance. You know, you have lights in there, you have a little mood going on in there, and it just brings you in. I mean, it makes you just feel like you're back in a club, like you're back at, you know, Blues Alley, watching you on stage with the crew. You know, I mean, it really feels that way. So it's the audio, it's the visual. I mean, you've kind of married the two together incredibly well. I think I love it. I can't wait for this.
Thank you.
Sunday.
I think we're the last live music venue alive right now. So we got to stay true to it and to its integrity. Yeah, it's not easy.
It's killing it.
And even going forward, Fred, how is this like? How are you envisioning once you come out of this? You know, now you've been exploring live streaming. Are you thinking of new ideas going forward? You know, because obviously you're going to continue to do live shows, but are you going to continue to do this?
I'm going to go as long as I can, as long as I don't break any rules, as long as there's not, you know, we're just trying to make sure that we stay creative. We open the windows for the neighbors on Sundays, so they can enjoy the music from the comfort of their front yards, and drink wine and eat cheese, and you know, and have a good time. I mean, that's the purpose of art in general. Yeah, is to be shared. To be honest with you, I cannot wait to be back in front of an audience, because what I do best is really respond musically from what the audience is giving us when they're receiving our music. You know, it's a conversation. We play and they respond with their applause, their facial expressions, their body language. All of this has an impact on how we play back to them. So it's we feel a little secluded on this end so far, but we feel good about knowing that, you know, we're sharing it as much as we can in an easy way, and with all those tools you guys are providing us with. So no, I feel totally blessed and honored to be able to do this. It's humbling.
And you know, I mean, you mentioned not being able to get too much feedback in real time. I know you guys are like busy with all this stuff going around, but watching the feed and watching all these comments go up about, you know, what's going on and how these people feel connected to you. I mean, hell, you had Quincy Jones commenting on your Instagram feed of last weekend. I mean, like, what else do you need but that? I mean, you've hit everyone.
Yeah, we had Quincy, we had Gail King and Naomi Campbell also. Stuff
crazy.
And so there's some support and some love.
It feels like they're stopping by, you know, like it feels like they're there, you know. I mean, I was there, like, oh, Quincy Jones, here he is. I'm kind of on the stream too, and Quincy's also here. That's kind of cool.
And my brother D Nice also promoted the last one on his Instagram. So
he's been killing it.
I think I have a good idea for this coming weekend. So just come back and check it out.
You bet it.
Surprises.
Eavesdrop is at 4 p.m. Eastern on all these channels. Follow Fred if you want to check it out. Fred, I got one more question for you.
Of course.
So, if you could give any advice to the musicians out there that are thinking about going live, that are thinking about doing this sort of thing, what's something you wish someone had told you before you started? Like, what are some tips that you might have the aspiring musician to get started with this?
Yeah.
Practice. Not just the music, of course, the music, but practice the broadcast. Don't end up like Teddy Face and Baby Riley.
Oh yeah.
I didn't say their names. No, but seriously, there's always some surprises. Do a dress rehearsal, do a technical rehearsal. Make sure that you broadcast maybe on the ghost page to make sure that everything works properly the way you want it. Fine tune it. Do not rush the process. In other words, get it done right.
It's wise words. Yeah, I agree. I try to tell a lot of people, like, try recording it first and see how it sounds. You can't just go live for the first time ever and just hope it's going to sound good, because it's probably not. So
exactly.
Always best to check it out.
Like you're doing too much. You don't want that.
Yeah, right. We got one other question, and it is totally off topic, but it's cool enough, and we should probably just ask you. And if you want to answer it, cool. If it's super top secret and it's like, you got to keep it secret, totally understand. But someone asked, so I'm just going to ask it.
Randy.
How did you put together the surprise show with Ed Sheeran at 18th Street Lounge?
How did I put it together?
Which I was at, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in my entire life.
You never know. You just got to be there. It's almost like being at the right place at the right time. All these people happen to be in the same city on the same night, and we all happen to have each other's phone numbers. So
I love it. That's how I always see you work. Is just whoever's around, whoever has a phone and is up and is ready to jam. Fred's hitting him up. It's go time always.
Yeah, we got another question for you, Fred. It says, what interface are you using to connect from board to computer?
I use the Apollo Twin, the one I got from Chuck's again. This baby right here. There you go.
There it is. Universal Audio.
Yeah,
that's right. And
cool.
And from there it goes into this straight onto Facebook Live.
Yeah, what you're using that new the Blackmagic 810 Mini right now.
Yes.
What do you think about it? How's that been working for you?
This thing is absolutely fantastic. Can you see it?
Yeah.
There you go. You see the size of this thing? It's so powerful for its size. It's very economic. You can connect 4 cameras. I don't know anything on the market that can really compete with it at this moment. Not that I'm a specialist in camera gear, but it was extremely easy to learn, and the quality is fantastic. It's quick plug and play, powerful thing. It takes all the brain power outside of the computer. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, it's been showing. It's been awesome. Can't wait for this Sunday. Pumped to check it out. Fred, thank you.
Fred, can you give the people your all your handles, if in case they want to see you, to get in touch with you?
My Cash App is
Yes.
No, I'm very easy to find. Google Fred Harmonica, and you'll find my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube page, and then my Cash App.
Awesome. That's the most important one.
That's it. Fred, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing. The city loves you. The world loves you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Long life to your stream. This is amazing.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for being here. You started this, man. Now we got to keep it going.
Got to follow it up. Yeah. Follow it up. All right, Fred.
Thanks, Fred. Around. See you later.
Man. That's crazy.
What a dude.
Yeah, I this was my first time interacting with Fred, and even when we were doing some test runs, man, he's like on time, an amazing musician, and those two things are like beautiful. If you can be on time and an amazing musician,
and he's got the heart for it too.
Yeah, man, is beautiful.
He brought up a good point that I think will get us into the kind of our next portion of this, more about the gear and like how we're doing the stream. But why would a musician want to stream? What's the point? Why would you want to do that right now? I think, you mentioned it earlier. Instagram and Facebook are pushing streams.
Yeah.
it's something I love to talk about, that social media, like these social media platforms are meant to like keep you on the platform. You want to stay engaged. Facebook wants you to be engaged and having a good time on it. So it's going to keep pumping interesting content into your news feed, and live things are what that's all about. So there's it's free reach, right? I mean, you see it when you're doing all of our, our stories, our IG kind of stuff. I mean, the reach potential for a live stream is massive, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna push it out to people that might not already be looking at it, might not even be on Facebook right now, and it's still gonna reach out and try and grab them, which is super cool. It's also like intimate, right? I mean, this is cool. We're both at home. Like, we got the whole world of people in our homes right now.
Yeah.
Feel a little weird, but it's pretty cool. And the last thing, I mean, Fred was joking, but I mean, for a lot of musicians, this could be a legitimate revenue stream. Yeah. People understand what's going on. They know that musicians can't play right now. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. And it's not don't be shy to put that up. I mean, people are literally looking for, we mentioned some of the organizations that are doing it, but individuals care about musicians, especially if you have an audience, especially if you've already developed an audience and built it out. Yeah. Don't be shy to put your Cash App or your Venmo up there. People might give you some money. I've seen some amazing streams happen from artists and bands that really are on hard times and can't perform. We're about to go on tour like Fred, and have generated significant revenue from doing something like that. So it's not, I mean, there's a social play to it, entertainment, providing just, good vibes, positivity in the world, but it can be a real play for business too, for the working musicians out there.
Yeah, I really love the fact that, I mean, like we said, he's making it happen from what he has and out of necessity, but even when you look at the equipment, like the fact that Black Magic, like it's so tiny yet so powerful. And then an interface as well is, it's a small interface, but obviously we know the Apollo is super good. But the fact that, you can make it happen with little, and yeah, he has a mixture of cameras, like professional cameras and iPhones, but really with live stream, man, like if you just have a phone, you can, and you can just go live. And
that's it.
And there's different levels to it too, right? Like you can go live from Facebook Live, Instagram Live, but then you can go look at something like Sling Studio, where you can start connecting different devices, whether it's professional cameras, DSLR cameras, or even iPhones, right? Which is still super high quality. And even to Jason, who asked earlier about what we're using, this is StreamYard. And this gets a little bit more cool because, like how you guys have seen, we can bring people in.
Why don't you show them for a second? Why don't you move it around? Show us a couple things. Bouncing around.
We can bam put phase. You know what I'm saying? We can do videos. We can do videos. We
show them the bottom little logo thing.
Yeah, you can
change our views a little bit.
Let's see.
And there's other, while Eric is kind of moving us around, there's other streaming platforms out there. StreamYard is really simple. It's inexpensive. There's a free version. We're on the intermediate level. It's $25 a month. It's inexpensive, certainly affordable. And right now we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube right now. It has connections to LinkedIn. It has some other connections that you can take advantage of. And it's all built into the platform. It's super easy.
Yeah.
As far as our cameras, we're both just using the webcams on our computer. There's certainly other ways to play the video side of things, and maybe we'll get into that more in a different stream. We'll talk more about the audio element of it, which is our primary focus these days. But there's Caster, there's Restream. If you want to try something that is massively powerful, just kind of a bear to deal with, there's OBS. Which I know a lot of people use in kind of the gaming streaming world, to kind of overlay the videos and do that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of tools out there. They are not cost prohibitive. So to get a stream going, one, you got your phone, open it up, check it out. You can go live on any of these platforms in its own right, just with your phone or just with your laptop. But if you want to do this multi-streaming, it's not terribly complicated. We started working on this platform maybe like 5 days ago, just messing around so we could load in some of these images like our drum department and stuff in our background. But outside of that, we're live, like we're in it. This is not rocket science. It's happening.
Yeah. So I would definitely, I've been the one kind of controlling right now with bringing people in and the video and like all the layout. And man, I truly this is an unpaid sponsorship, but StreamYard, I really like what they're doing. And even for like at my church, we're using Sling Studio, and that's also a really powerful, easy tool to use. So there is a lot of tools out there, guys. But also don't be discouraged if you can't have a subscription to any of these things. You can legit just pick up your phone and say, okay, well, I'm going to go live. And you can do it like that as well. And I think Fred is a really good example to look at, because when you look at his live stream, like I said, you're seeing different devices going live. It's not just you'll see a big camera, but then you'll just see a little phone. So he's doing it all. So definitely check him out and get some ideas.
Yeah.
Adam, do you want to take us through? Well, we got a quick question. I see. First of all, man, shout out everybody that's live right now, yo. Like, shout out. We got Randy, Kathy, we got Adam, Nate, we got Jason. We got a couple of people in here, and we just really appreciate you guys tuning in. Ryan is asking, how much can you control on StreamYard Mobile? Same functionality or watered down?
We haven't actually tried to manage this mobily. It doesn't seem, I'm not sure, it doesn't seem like there's an app for it. It seems like it just takes you into, there could be a mobile. A bunch of people are asking about it. There could be a mobile. I'm not sure. But right now we're driving this from our computer screens. We'll have to investigate that afterwards. Not sure.
Yeah. We'll definitely get into that. But
if you're thinking about going live, before we get into the gear of like things that you can use to actually improve the audio quality, there's just some kind of bigger topics I think are worth talking about quickly. One is, where are you going to be recording? The room has a sound, and that absolutely needs to be a function of kind of what you're thinking about. If you are in a room that is really echoey or too big, your recording could sound messy. It could sound hollow. If you're in a room that has bad lighting, you won't be able to see what's going on. You won't be able to see your face. If you're in a room that has a laundry machine in it or air conditioning in it, think about these things before you go live. I mean, the room is absolutely a component of what's going on here. Tip number 2, always wear headphones. Always wear headphones. You got to make sure that you're on mic, and you want to make sure that, whatever other audio sources are going on, they're not distorted, they're not clipping. You want to make this a stream that's enjoyable. You hear how Fred is so involved and obsessed with the audio. It's because it matters, because people wouldn't tune in for an hour-long stream if the audio sucked. So take the time and make it worth your audience's time. If you're going to go live for an hour, make it sound enjoyable, make it sound good. The last thing I want to talk about, just kind of briefly, is types of microphones. Because I want to talk a little bit more about like the ways you can get audio into these devices, into your computer or your phone, to stream it and get better audio quality. But just, in terms of microphones, both of us right now, me and Eric, are using dynamic mics. I'm on a Shure SM7B. Eric, what are you rocking over there?
This is a Sennheiser E935, I think. Is that
so?
Is that
yeah, both super solid dynamic microphones, like the SM58 also. As opposed to a condenser microphone, which a lot of you musicians out there probably seen more in like a recording studio setting. And I'm not going to get too deep into it. This could be a whole other stream in itself, just talking about mics. But basically, condenser microphones are more sensitive. They pick up all those subtle nuances. So when we're in a recording studio and we want to get all those intricate details of someone's voice or of an instrument, a condenser microphone is really going to be able to capture that detail. But when we're in a situation where we're not in total control of what's going on. We're home right now. We're not in a soundproof room. There could be a helicopter that goes over right now, or a motorcycle that just drove by. I'm not sure if you heard it, but there was. Dynamic microphones allow us to kind of control what's being picked up a lot more. So they're all directional, being that they're picking up audio in one direction and they are rejecting audio in another direction. So for example, with the Shure SM58 right here, it picks up sound through this end, and any sound coming back from this way is going to be so quiet, it's either not being picked up or it's so subtle that it's not really ruining the recording. So it's really about understanding the way your mic picks up sound and then how to position that in the room so that you're making sure that you're picking up good, clean audio of just what you want to hear and not any of this extraneous noises that could be going on around you. If you do have a condenser microphone and that's all you got kicking around, not to say that you can't use it, just know that it's more sensitive and maybe time your stream for a time that's going to be a little less noisy, maybe like middle of the night, or record it that way, or go into a place that's a little quieter. If you have like an internal room in the house or a basement that can get a little away from the noise, condenser microphones can certainly be used. Just know what you're working with. Just know the tools.
Yeah, let's go to some questions really quick.
Yeah.
So Jeannie asks, hi. Oh, what happened? Where'd it go? Oh, okay, here we go. Hi, does this, oh, it just goes away. Does this format work with multiple musicians playing together or for playing duets with yourself?
Super good question. I don't think, and we've done some limited testing. I tested in Zoom and I tested in Microsoft Teams, but I don't really encourage trying to perform over a stream. It hinges too much off each individual person's Wi-Fi to get the timing right. Yeah. And it's tough. Having a conversation like this, even if there's a little bit of a delay, excuse me, Eric and I can deal with it. But if you're trying to stay on beat,
yeah,
you're in for real time, I think. It just depends on everyone's individual Wi-Fi networks. If everyone's on like a super epic Wi-Fi network, I could imagine maybe it working. But what's happening more often when I'm seeing musicians performing and it looks like this, what's happening really is that these musicians are recording them individually. We just tested this out among some of the guys. Shout out to Darren and Luke and Dinar from the team. And check our social media. We'll probably put that video up later.
Yeah.
But we tested it out live. It was a little sloppy. Nothing on them. It was more about the internet. We recorded it separate. Darren laid down a drum track. Dinar took it, played a guitar riff on top of it, sent both of those videos over to Luke. He smashed it all together, played a sick bass line on top of it, and it worked. Man. And there's some cool apps out there. I know Luke uses one called Acapella, which has a really cool way of kind of merging some of these videos and keeping the timing tight. And I think there is even a paid version of that app that allows multiple musicians to do things simultaneously.
Yeah.
But it's tough to do it live.
Stay tuned too, because that's something that we're gonna dive into possibly for the next episode too. Because we do have one of our employees, Luke, who's like a genius when it comes to I didn't even know that he could do this. It's crazy because all the hidden talents are coming out. We knew he was a great musician, but him putting together like just him playing different instruments and putting it into like an app and then having like a full song of just him playing. He's been doing a lot of those videos, and we're gonna have him on in the upcoming episode. So we'll talk more about it because there is a lot of opportunity there where you can just do things yourself. But yeah, maybe not live stream live with all musicians. I mean, if it works, let us know. That'll be something that will be interesting.
We're still kind of testing it out.
Yeah.
I saw these inspiring videos on the news of like the cast of The Lion King all singing a song together. I'm like, damn, did they get like 20 people to like sing it live?
Yeah.
My assumption right now is no way. No way.
Daniel is asking, what about lighting? So with lighting, if you see right here in my forehead a reflection, I'm right in front of a window with just a white sheet, so it's not super strong on my face. But set up next to a window.
Windows are great, and there are some cool lighting solutions out there.
Good, yeah.
Actually, American DJ just kind of came out. Yeah, why don't you put up my screen a little bit and we can show some of the gear options. Okay. So American DJ, literally in response to this situation and kind of the blast of streaming that's going on, American DJ came in with these bundles. Different sizes, starting as low as $199 for just a solid, good, nice white light that's going to look good for video. $199, everything you need to get a good lighting setup. And this is lighting doesn't need to be too complicated. There are things to consider: the colors of the lights. There's different levels of white. There's warm white. There's cool white. So it's something to consider, but going with something like the ADJ stream packs that they've created would be super cool, would get it done. But check some stuff out, and not just how it looks like when you're looking at it on your phone. Record it and play it back. Make sure you actually watch how this is going to look when played back, because that's an important component of what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
So lighting absolutely is a part of this whole jam. But let's run into some of the other ways of actually like getting good audio into these devices. Let's talk about some of those things.
Let's do it.
You mentioned you're using you have a Zoom H4 at home. So these portable recorders are phenomenally cool devices if you have one of these kicking around right now. On my screen, I have up the Zoom H6, which is a moderately priced $329. It's got a built-on microphone that's up here at the top, right here. So right away, even if you're not going to stream, if you just want to record good audio, it's got a microphone built onto it. No other microphones needed. It's right there. And pretty much every portable recorder out there that's kind of in this form factor generally has built-on microphones. Tascam also has a line of them. The DR series, GR40X is massively popular. So these are cool devices in their own right, being that they are a microphone and they can record directly to an SD card internal to the device. The H6 has 4 external microphone inputs on it. So ways that you can plug in something like SM58 or an SM7B into the device to get better audio. So it's a recorder in its own. Being that it has a microphone on it, this actually can be a USB microphone. So if you have no other microphones around, you have nothing else to plug into this, but you have your recorder with its built-on mics and your computer, you just improve your audio quality for your streaming capabilities. They're simple. They work great. They're condenser microphones generally. So, be aware that they're going to be a little more sensitive, but it can absolutely help the situation.
Yeah.
The other thing is if you do have a microphone, but maybe you don't have an audio interface, which we can talk more about in a second, this can act as that purpose. This can act as that element to the system. So an audio interface is a device that takes analog signals from guitars, from microphones, from keyboards, line level signals, whatever it might be, and it converts it to digital. It converts it into the language that your computer can actually understand the audio and deal with it and use it in some other way. So these portable recorders, if you got one around, you are off to a great start. You might be able to just start doing something right now. But if you need something else, you're only a couple pieces away from making something really pop. You're right on it. You might have a mixer that has USB on it. So for example, PreSonus makes a series of mixers, Studio Live AR series mixers that have a USB connection on it. Yeah. So this is very similar. This is a lighter version, but this is very similar to what Fred's doing. Fred's using a big board. His board does not have any USB functionality. He is not using the board to actually do the stream. He's just using it to make sure that all the levels are mixed right. And then he's taking a feed out of it and putting into another device to get into the computer. But a mixer like the PreSonus, Mackie makes some mixers, Alan Heath makes some mixers, Yamaha makes some mixers, all that have USB functionality that can actually take all the channels from the board and spit them into the computer so you can get really good audio quality. Might have not been something that you actually used the mixer for before, but you could probably use it now. I mentioned a USB microphone for a minute. USB microphones are really cool in a lot of ways, and they have their drawbacks, but in the streaming times and this crazy time we find ourselves, a USB microphone is like a super simple way to get this going. Yeah. Something like the AKG Lyra or something like the Rode NT USB Mini. These are basically plug and play. They work Mac, they work PC, and if you have an iPhone, I'm sure it works with Android too. Just the right connector. These actually just can improve the audio going into your phone. So if you were going to do an Instagram Live on your phone, because that's the only way you can do it, but you wanted to improve the audio quality, one of these kind of cross-platform USB microphones could crank that up a bit and take that audio to a new level. Really cool stuff and not terribly expensive. The limitation to the USB microphone thing is that as soon as you want to kind of use more mics, it becomes a bit cumbersome, a bit clunky. That's when using something like a mixer or an audio interface might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the world of mixers, what I'm using at home right now is the Rode Rodecaster Pro, which is like an animal.
Yeah.
It's an animal.
Yeah.
It's designed for podcasting. So it has 4 mic inputs. It's got a bunch of other connections. If you're going to be doing anything that relates to a phone or a phone call and want to record that, the functionality is incredible. It can, right now, it's being used to pipe all the audio from my Shure SM7B into my computer as an audio interface. But it can also be standalone and record direct to SD card. So it's got a lot of functionality to it.
Yeah.
What have you been recording your podcasts on at home?
I've been using the Zoom, the H4 Zoom, that new one that you showed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that thing's been working magic with me. It's somewhere here. But yeah, because I can literally just plug it up, connect to, if I'm doing a conversation with 2 people or even 3 people, like I can just plug it up and just go. Make sure that the levels are right. What we talked about, making sure that there's no noise in the background, and yeah, we're good to go. And then as far as even here, I got the focus right, which is like it's like your starter interface, but we're making it happen. I don't know if I can get it into the screen.
What do you do?
You say what?
Little red, yeah. The 2i2 is classic. I mean, one of the more popular audio interfaces out there. Absolutely get the job done for sure.
Yeah, and then
sure.
even this Sennheiser microphone, which this cost me. Well, I bought it at Chuck's. I think it was like no more than 100. Honestly, it was super.
Yeah, right now we got some specials going on. So if you're just one of those mics, hit us up.
Yeah.
I got a couple other things I want to show for those that are using the phone.
Oh yeah.
So I mentioned a minute ago about maybe making your phone work with USB devices. So real quick, I just wanted to show this thing can be a lifesaver. The camera adapter kit for your phone, Lightning on one end, USB on the other. Not every single USB device will work with your phone this way, but if it says that it will, most devices aren't also including the Lightning connector. This is your adapter. This is the way to bridge the gap from an audio device that is compliant with a phone to actually work with the phone. So keep this in your back pocket as something that you might need if you're trying to stream with your phone. Having one of these around could be huge.
Yeah.
Kind of the step up from there. IK Multimedia has, for a good long while, has a suite of products that are made to bring better audio into phones. They make one called the iRig 2, which is really meant, goes in through the headphone jack, and it uses that TRRS connection, which is really important. And we'll talk about that in a second for the phones. No, you know what? We're going to talk about it now.
Yeah.
TRRS connection. So I'm going to show a picture of what this is right now. So see on my screen, there's a picture of a cable. This is a TRRS cable, which has 3 black rings: tip, ring, sleeve. So the as opposed to a TRS cable, which I'm showing on my screen right now, which has 2 rings. So the key here is that 3rd ring, that's what unlocks the potential for audio to go back into the phone. Otherwise, it's just going to be spitting audio out of the phone, right? So in order to get audio back into the phone, this TRRS connection is really important. And you might have devices that might not have worked, or you're like, this should have just worked. It's probably a TRRS connection that's required. Right. So they also make these kind of Lightning cable enabled devices that can get analog signals, just like the Zoom recorders or the Rodecaster. It has, I don't know if you can see,
it's a little
light. There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh.
So this is a combo jack. This connection right here, some of you might have seen it, throws a lot of people for a loop. This sort of connection can take a microphone, or it can take like a guitar or a line level signal. I use it to record like modular synth videos. I just take a line out into my, into this device, into the phone. They make a duo. They make a 2-channel setup. They also just came out with a new one called the Stream, which has RCA connections to get stereo into your phone. But all of these ways are just enhancing the audio quality that's going to get into your phone and ultimately be your stream. So coming up with these ways to convert that analog signal, or kind of removing the room from the situation and getting direct audio into the phone, is going to just clean it all up. Yeah. And that's what Fred is really doing. He's taking all that sound from the board, but what you're ultimately seeing when he's using the stream, he's using a device that's very similar to the iRig Duo. 2 channels in from the board into that device and then into his phone so that he can go IG Live. It's pretty cool. The last one I wanted to show, Shure came out with this kit maybe around a year ago, and it's just an incredible value for what it is. It is called the Shure MV88 Plus 215 kit, video kit. So right up here on the top, you got the MV88 Plus, which is basically like a steerable microphone. It's a microphone with a pickup pattern that can be adjusted based on what you want it to pick up. So it can pick up sound that's directly in front of it in kind of a very directional pattern. It can open up a little bit more, and you actually have control over how much wider it's being picked up. So maybe you want to pick up something that's a little bit more than just a very direct signal. Maybe you have 2 of you and you're going to do a duet or something like that. So it can kind of open it up. And it has a figure 8 pattern in there, so you can do like an interview. We could, if we were in the same room, if we were allowed to be in the same room, we could pop that mic right in front of the 2 of us, and it would pick us up both cleanly. The kit comes with an adapter that actually holds your phone on a really sick stand that's made by Manfrotto, which is like, a name in the world of stands for cameras and phones and whatnot. This bundle in particular comes with the SE215CL earbuds, which are normally, I think, $99 by themselves. And this kit without the headphones generally would be like $249. So you're getting $100 headphones for $50 when you buy it in this bundle. So it gives you pretty much, if you got a phone, it can work on Android, it can work on iOS. I hear it's a little bit better on iOS than Android, but it should work both ways. And it's an incredible package.
Man, I'm like learning myself because I deal with cameras. I deal a little bit with audio, but I'm like, dang, all right, okay, taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The real key to the whole thing, is that there's tools out there to make this possible.
Yeah.
The only thing that you could be doing wrong right now is not streaming.
Yeah, not doing it.
That's it.
Do it, people. Stream.
Try it. Do it.
Stream.
Get out there. Break the seal. Do the first time. It's all going to start rolling after that. Hell, we just did it.
Yeah.
We just did it. We just did it live.
Believe it or not, people, this is the first time. We obviously did a little bit of testing, but this is the first time ever. What you guys are seeing right now, if you see any little hiccups, this is the first time we've ever gone live. You know what I mean? And it's really cool to even see you guys react in the comments. We didn't have any expectations going into this, but we're seeing the comments right now, and it's just great that you guys are receiving this information, and it's great to even bring this information to you guys. So we're going to do a couple of more of these episodes. If you have any suggestions or any questions or just any ideas of things that you would want to see here, we're obviously catering to the music world, and we're very well inclined to what's going on in the music industry and gear. We have a lot of professionals on call right now. So whatever you want to know, whatever you want to see, let us know. And we're going to have so much fun continuing with Chuck Levin's Live. This will be a weekly thing. We will be doing it every Wednesday at the same time, 4 p.m. So stay tuned. Follow us everywhere on our social media. Adam, do you have anything else that you want to show the people before we dip out of here?
Nothing else to show. Just, everyone out there, if you want to be on the stream, if you have questions, if you have topics you want us to talk about, hit us up at live@chucklevins.com or sales@chucklevins.com. Our website is up and running, www.chucklevins.com. We are here, even though we are not all in the store. We're around. We are as open as we can be right now, and we're here to help. All the guys from the sales team are available. If you have questions, you want to know how to make something work, you're working on a stream or you're working on a project and you have issues or questions, you're not alone. We're here with you. The world needs music more than now, and we want to help make that happen as best we can. We are a resource. We can be your backbone. Just let us know if you need help with anything, and we're here.
And Adam, can we just recap what's the status of Chuck Levin's right now when it comes to orders, when it comes to, just communicating?
For sure. So, we are right now at the store, we are shipping once, maybe twice a week. Placing orders online is totally cool. If you want to check on something, maybe you don't see it online, you have a question, then you can hit us up on email and we'll check it out. Maybe something that we don't have, but we can have access to. Maybe one of our vendor partners has it in their warehouse and they're shipping too. So hit us up, hit us up at sales@chucklevins.com, hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what you're looking for. I'm sure we can help out. I'm sure we can make more music happen. And that's what we're here to be.
Yeah. So there you go.
Sales@chucklevins.com.
Look at us being all professional with the live stream.
Boom.
Come
Streaming.
on now. Let's go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, man. It's been really a pleasure to just share this moment with you guys. Again, if you have any questions, anything, hit us up. Follow us at Chuck Levins. That is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. We are everywhere. Thank you, guys. Stay making music. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Peace.